Hello guys, as we have promised you, we are back with a new video. So this will be the series of C coding and you will learn the complete tutorial of C programming. So welcome to our channel, the coding.co. So before directly jumping into the C programming, let us first understand the basics of programming. So you might be having a lot of questions in your mind, right? So what is programming, how it is done, how it works, all those things. So in this video, we will learn about the introduction to the computer programming and how it actually works. We can't communicate with the computer in a common languages that humans speak, for example, English, Hindi, or any other language. Then, how to communicate with the computer? We give the set of instructions, and those set of instructions, this is called as program. So by using these set of instructions, we communicate with the computer. And the computer understands only the binary language, that is 0 and 1. This is the language that computer understands. Now consider that you have bought a new PC or a laptop for yourself. It is already coded with the system software or the application software. Software is nothing but the set of programs. The set of programs is called as the software. Now, what is system software or the system program? System software is that which ensures the hardware of your computer or which takes care of the hardware of your computer. And now, what is application software? Application software is the one that does your job or your favorite job which you want to be performed by your computer. The example for application software are web browser, YouTube, and many other things. So these are the example of the application software. So if you want any of your task to be done by the computer, then you have to write a code for it. You have to write a code, then give it to the computer, it will execute and then give you the output. This is how the system works. Now, for example, see, this is your code and you will convert into the form of 0 and 1 and then it will get executed because the computer cannot understand the coding language which we use. So it should be converted into the binary format, that is 0 and 1, and then it will be executed by the computer and then we get the output. So to do that, first we should code. To code, what we require is a programming language. Programming language. So to learn programming language, we have to start from basic and we have many programming languages through which we can code into the computer. So consider now you are learning English. So what you will do first? First you will learn A, B, C, D, which is the alphabets of the English, and then you will learn the words, and then you will start framing sentences using the grammar, and then you can speak to anybody or communicate with anybody. In the similar way, to learn any programming language, first we need to learn the basics. For example, syntaxes or character set or data types and many other things. Syntaxes means the rules to write the program or the set of rules which we use to write a program, and character set, data types, these things we'll learn in the upcoming sessions. Yeah. So now what we are learning is the code and the binary format. This binary format is understandable only by the computers. So we cannot understand the binary format and it is almost impossible for a human to do coding in the binary language. So we humans developed the coding or the programming languages which is almost similar to English and which is easily understandable by the human. So this is how the coding is done, and this is the machine language, and this is the program execution. Now, the machine language will depend upon the different systems. It will not be same for all the systems. So, if we write a machine language code in one system, it cannot be copied to the other system or executed in the other system. If we write machine language code in one system, then we should do it in that system only, because there will be difference. Now, the code, if we write in one system, we can copy it and execute in the other system as well. With the small or very minute modifications, we can copy the code from one system and to the other system and then execute the program. So we can say this 0 and 1, the binary format, as machine dependent language. So it depends on the machine, as different machines have different architecture. Different machines have the different architecture. So the binary format is the machine dependent language. So now this code should be executed. Before that, the code should be converted into the 0 and 1 form, which is the machine understandable form. To do that, we require a compiler. So, to convert the code to the binary format, we require a compiler. Also, interpreter can also be used as the compiler. It is similar to compiler. There is very small difference between them, which we will discuss later in this video. Until now, you have understood that how the set of instruction or the program is coded to the computer, how it works, what is a code, what is machine language, and how it gets executed. These are the things which we learned till now. So next we will come to the C language. C language was developed by a person named Dennis Riches in 1972 at the Bell Labs. Dennis Riches. He was the one who developed the C language. You know, there is an interesting fact that you must know. C language is a successor of the B language. So B language was also a programming language which was used in the Unix operating system. So now what is Unix operating system? You know, we use now the Windows operating system, which is very common among us. Similarly, there is Linux, Unix operating systems also. So Unix is one of the operating systems which was used for B language. So now the B language also had many limitations. That is the reason why the C language was introduced. After the introduction of the C language, the limitations that was in the B language was overcome. So this is how the C language was formed, and this is the history of the C language. Now, you know, the Android, Oracle and some libraries of Android are also coded in the C language. So now, after all this, let's come to the compiler and the interpreter. The difference between the compiler and the interpreter. First, let's take the case of compiler. Now, imagine that you have written a code. The first line of code, second line, third line, and fourth line. This is the whole code. This is the whole code which you have written for your computer. Now, in the case of compiler, the whole code is compiled at once. The whole code is compiled at once in the form of 0010 or any binary format. So the whole code is compiled at once. In the case of interpreter, now consider you have written the same code in the interpreter. In the case of interpreter, you have written the 4 lines of code. In the interpreter case, each line is compiled. Each line is compiled. The first time, the first line is compiled, then it is executed, then second line is compiled, and then so on. The program will be executed first and then it will go to the next line. So there are some difference between the compiler and the interpreter. The execution is fast in compiler compared to the interpreter. Why? Because as the whole code is compiled at once, the execution will get faster. Whereas in interpreter, each line is compiled, so the execution will get slower. And here, the compiling is slow. As a bulk amount of data is compiled together, the compilation time is more. So, the compiling is slow. In the case of interpreter, each line is compiled, so the compiling is fast and the time taken is less compared to the compiler. Now, let's come to the errors. So errors are displayed at the last after the compilation. This means the whole code will get compiled first, then the errors will be displayed if any errors is present. Now in the case of interpreter, as each line is compiled, the program is executed until the error occurs. So now consider you are compiling each line. So you have compiled one, no error, the program is executed. Then you have compiled the line 2, no error, the program is executed. Now you are compiling the line 3 and if any error occurs, it will occur in this time. So the program is executed until the error occurs. So this is the common difference between the compiler and the interpreter. I hope you all have understood the concepts which we covered in today's video. If you like this video or if you find this video was useful to you, please share it to your friends and also don't forget to subscribe. Until the next video, bye bye.